Let's just for a second recap where we're at the start of Season 2. Spoilers for Season 1, of course. Tyrell Welk is missing. The world is in disarray after the night of the attack. E-Corp CEO is still shady and ambiguous. White Rose and the Dark Army, i.e. BB Wong, and Chinese mysterious people are still Chinese and mysterious. Angela, whose mum was killed by E-Corp a long time ago, is now working high up for E-Corp somehow after Well-Save, or whatever the place that was run by that nice guy called Giddy got hacked. Darlene is Elliot's sister and was enlisted by Elliot to run F-Society with him, and he forgot that somehow. Mr. Robot is in fact Elliot's dead dad / new imaginary friend who has been in control of Elliot whilst doing all of the F-Society stuff that Elliot can't remember doing. Elliot is mad at his dad part of himself for this. That's pretty much everything. Cue the intro. Welcome to Season. My name is Jason and this is my review of Mr. Robot Season 2. Let's get started. Now, we know how Fight Clubby Mr. Robot really is. We see Season 2 spend a long time exploring Elliot's reaction to his current state of mind. Is Mr. Robot a virus in his mind that needs to be quarantined and eliminated? Or is he a part of Elliot that he can never be rid of? The first 4 episodes, whilst good individually and still shot amazingly and have no shortage of great music and editing choices, they're paced very slowly. There's a big focus on all the side characters' B-plots that are either driven by vague motivations or are just hard to follow if you haven't watched Season 1 in a while. Elliot's plotline is at a standstill and instead is more of a character study, not just of Elliot but of Mr. Robot himself. Yes, I do mean his imaginary dad who's actually here in his head. Some great flashbacks feed us insight into the beginning of F-Society and Elliot's early life. So overall ends up doing a lot of valuable world building, just not with any forward momentum with the plot up to the end of Episode 5. Then Episode 6 is a healthy dose of insanity and tension that was sorely needed. The first 20 minutes of this episode is completely out of left field and genius, but again, if you had no patience for the weirder side of the show last season, this will push you away even more. The front half of this season feels more comparable to Better Call Saul's Season 2, in that the show is not afraid to spend the time adding depth to its world and its characters rather than advancing the plot. One good thing that comes out of this is Angela, who, although is not exactly a bundle of laughs, does start to be more interesting than she was last season due to this season's efforts. She tries to do this cold, calculating E-Corp stooge and tries to climb her way up the corporate ladder, as it were. It's interesting to see. As the show moves towards the end of the season, it starts to both build up its tension and start telling us what the fuck is going on, though ends up provoking more questions than answers. God, this show likes to play with its audience. I get it. It's going to go a little Breaking Bad and slow burn its way upwards. If you didn't know, the creator of the show, Sam Esmail, said that he has a relatively general outline of a 4 or 5 season plan laid out for Mr. Robot. And with it doing so well critically and now getting renewed for a 3rd season, the show has the confidence to get even more creatively weird, if that's possible. Don't get me wrong at all, the back end of this season is ridiculously action-packed and tense as fuck. But if you're waiting on answers, you're gonna have to wait more than just the slow first half of the season. How do I feel about it? It's good, but to put it lightly, it's challenging to follow without reading up about it on Reddit afterwards. If you weren't too invested in Season 1 and hope for Season 2 to convince you otherwise, it won't. You'll turn off. If you loved the first season like I did, you'll have the patience and interest enough to watch through it and love it regardless. Good rating. Very close to an awesome rating. Well, it's a hard one because I struggled with it, but I love how creative it is and I'd love to see where it's going. Is it challenging TV or does it need to work on telling its story a bit more clearly? I don't really know. Accessibility versus weird niche experimental TV, everyone. Let's just say it's not for everybody. And that's it. Thank you very so much for watching. If you like this video, then please subscribe to this channel to keep up to date with my future reviews. You can check out any of my other reviews on the playlist. You can click it right there. But for now, I will see you later.